Hey everybody, welcome back to the Kansas City Southern Union Pacific N-scale layout. Well, after further reviews and talking with lots of different model railroaders and lots of good friends, I think we've come up with the final idea. What you're seeing is the actual shelf, which is only a small 1x2, and that's where the track will be on. And that will be attached to the backdrop with some L brackets, not shelf brackets. And there are supports for the backdrop that we can screw those into. So what I'm going to have to do is probably do 8-foot sections. I don't have to put cork down, and I'll tell you why in a couple minutes, but I wanted to show you what this would look like behind a building, because that was my worst nightmare, is having a track behind a building. But I might change the scenery to make it look like it's farther away, and this is kind of what it would look like. So it would actually start over here now and not on the other side. That hill's going to disappear, and it's going to go straight up like that, and it will go all the way around. Trying to go slow. This is the only part that I really don't like, but my wife has a friend who's an artist, and she said she might be able to make it look like that's farther in the distance. I'm not quite sure how she's going to do that, but that's what it looked like. It almost looked like there's just a shelf there. Instead of having something stick way out here like that, it's just going to be single track until we get over here, and then there'll be a siding there. So let me show you what the plan also. I'm going too fast and it's getting blurry, but I got to walk over and get the bridges. If you can remember, the original plan was to come off of here and go all the way across this, but I don't want to hide this, so that's why we came up with that idea. The only reason that I didn't go with this that you guys saw last week off into here is I can't get it up that far. I can't get it 4 inches high. The grade's too steep. It was like 5.7 or some crazy number. So, okay, let me show you the bridge that the girders that I'm talking about using. So it would be like this. The ones on the left, not the ones on the right, I think is what I'm going to use. And what that's going to do is a couple things for me. Number one, I won't have to put cork down, so that'll save some money. And number two, it's got that little cap or the little siding, so that sucker derails. It can't go crashing down into my buildings. So I'm going to put them all the way down, except for on the curves. And there I'll just put a little piece of fascia on the front to protect it. So that antenna is going to have to be moved. So, like I said, this has been in talking stages forever. And then I thought I'd throw it out to YouTube land, and that really got me fired up. And talking to my buddy Ron and Steve most of the time, I think I'm going to do it. So just wanted to share with you guys and see what you think. This is, obviously I can't put the board up here. That track will come here now, come around that curve, and then come right into here. And it's only going to be 14 inches wide and 8 feet long. That picture's not going to be there, obviously. But anyhow, this is what it'll look like up top. Something like that. There's the loader. So I got this yard cork, so that takes care of a lot of it for the bottom. I've already ordered some switches. I'm going to use number 10s off the main and the sidings just because they're long and straight. And then when I build the top part, I'll use number 7s. And the top part, which is going to be right about here, I just decided to put HO ground throws on because they're easy to grab and easy to throw, and they're more sturdy than the N scale ones. And I'm going to screw them into the board. And I decided to use fascia board, 1/4 inch, instead of plywood because it's so much lighter. And I'm going to put it on brackets, hinges, so it folds up like that. So, but anyways, the goal is to have something like this at the end of the line, and then there'll be a runaround. And I'll show you the rough draft of the schematic. And here it is. I hope you guys can see it. So it will come around that curve right there. And I think I'm going to actually, let's change it. I think I'm going to flip it around here. Let's do this. The loader will be on the other side. I know you guys can't read it. All right. Anyhow, there'll be 3 tracks into the loader, and then they're going to pull in this track, and each train coming up with empties will have 3 units on the point. And if you see this little crossover right here, they cut the cars off, and then they back, and then they run around their train. Now, the big plan was, well, I want to do 2x1 leaving because my train is going to be loaded, and they're going to be 20-car trains. I don't want to run anything more than that, otherwise it's going to take away from the scenery, and then this would have to be longer, and etc. So I have some brand new BNSF coal cars coming, and some locomotives, so it's going to be cool. Anyhow, so that train runs around. Now your light power, right? So you come over here. So I got to thinking, well, if I drop off my DPU right there and I pull forward to back in here to grab my train, we all know with DCC that this locomotive right here is going to move. So how do we not make that locomotive move? Well, I came up with the idea, and I'm sure it's probably been used 1,000 times. And you guys that are pretty smart with DCC probably know what to do. But you take your units forward, and you back in that last one right into this helper pocket right here. And this track right here will not be powered. It will have what do you call it? The little plastic pieces. I can't think of the name right now, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Insulators right there. So you drop out that unit, you pull forward, you come back, you grab your train, pull forward, back up, grab your DPU, drag it out to this, and it'll kick in, and then you're off to the races. So I thought that'd be a good idea. I couldn't figure out how else I was going to make that last unit not move. And obviously, every train that leaves the yard is going to have 1 unit facing that way, and the middle unit facing this way, because they're going to switch spots or something like that. No, this one this way, and then the middle unit doesn't matter, and then this one this way. So you have to remember to have it that way before it leaves, otherwise it won't be on the point. But anyhow, and then it's going to go back down, and then when it leaves, it'll leave right there, come over here, and if it has to, it can meet a empty train, and that will be a 10-foot siding. More than enough room. I can get 3 locomotives and 20 cars, and it's just over 9 feet. So that'll be 10 feet. So anyhow, just wanted to keep you guys posted. Next week should be an overall video. I've been doing so much work. I've installed some crossing gates, not working right now. A lot of tortoises. I only have 1 more to go. I'm so happy with that because I just hate electrical. So next week, and then I'm going to start on this slowly. I'm not really going to jump right into it. Like I said, I just started ordering parts, and as they come in, I just put it in a box down there. So when it comes time to build, I know where to go. So I'm going to put that switch right here next to this switch. And there's room right here for a ground throw. And then this is going to get wiped out, and then up we go. So I'm going to do it. I mean, I'm still a little bit of nervous, but now that it's just that wide and you got some girders on there, I thought that'd be pretty cool. And this bad boy right here, the 1111, is going to be on one of my trains. And then my other train will be a BNSF Kansas City Southern power mix, and I'm not quite sure what locomotives yet. So, all right, you guys. That's it for now. Training out.